Welcome, everyone. We're so excited to have you here. Thanks, Molly. So for tonight, as we just let everybody kind of get signed on and get started, it's always going to be that first night where we're getting used to all of the things. I want to just thank you all so much for joining us as we have our 4-year anniversary here at Facetté Medical Spa and the Hair Experience. We have such an incredible week planned for you. Demos of incredibly new treatments, things that we want to share with you that many times we don't get a lot of time to be able to show you what's behind the closed doors here at Facetté. And I think it is going to be an absolutely incredible time. Not to mention, we have some incredible giveaways that we're going to be giving away after each demonstration. We have swag bags for when you decide to purchase a promotion that I'm going to share with those with you. So it is just going to be packed full of fun and goodness, but also lots and lots of information that we get to share with you. So thank you. For those of you that don't know, my name is Amanda Wicker. I am one of the co-founders here at Facetté Medical Spa and the Hair Experience. It has been an absolute pleasure serving our community and our team and being able to share all of the things that we get to do with you. And last year we had such an overwhelming response from our online demos because you could see them from the comfort of your own home with a glass of wine. And we were able to show more people those things that they want to see, that you want to ask those questions about. So if you have questions as tonight goes on, please make sure, hi Barbara, please make sure that you put them in the chat room because that will help us. And any information that we're going to share with you, we're going to put in that chat room as well. So keep that up so you're able to keep in touch with what's going on there if we need to share anything. One of our exciting things about this year, is that we partnered with a nonprofit, Crossroads Safe House, and we are so excited about that partnership because we're able to help another nonprofit in our community that is doing so much for victims of domestic violence. And they have so many things that they're able to do. It's a wonderful way that we get to share. Tomorrow, I'm going to interview one of their executives, and Sarah put the link in our chat box that if you donate $5 or more and make sure you reference Facetté, we will put your name in extra for the grand prize drawing at the end of the week, which the big grand prize basket is right behind me. I'll go through some of those things in there. It is like almost $3,000 worth of amazing prizes. And we're giving that away to one amazing person at the end of the week. Plus we're doing giveaways every night. I'm going to be giving away things as we go. So make sure you stay on because when you're participating and you're on our Zoom, that means your name goes automatically in the drawings for tonight and automatically in the drawing for the grand prize. If you purchase promotions, that your name goes in again. So lots of ways to win. We are so excited. Hi, everyone. Of course, I have a tickle in my throat now that we're on Zoom Live. We will be recording tonight because it gives us a way that we can share this later, put it on our YouTube and go back and watch it again. So we're going to continue to do that throughout the rest of the week as well. So the format for tonight, we're going to be able to do demos. You can ask me questions along the way. We want to make sure that you're getting all of the information that you need. And we're going to introduce you to all of our team members that we get to work so closely with, who are so amazing and talented. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started for tonight. And tonight we're starting with injectables, all of the amazing things about injectables. So Nina, are you ready for us? There they are.
I am totally ready. Hi, how are you?
Good. We've got an amazing group. Everybody's ready. What do you have for us?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this demo. I'm actually really thrilled to be able to start off this demo week here with Crystal. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Mina Muirhead. I'm a registered nurse and I am one of the co-founders of Facetté. And we're very excited and just so excited that you guys are here celebrating our 4-year anniversary with us. And just a little bit about me, I've been doing injectables and lasers for the past 17 years. So it's been a long time and I'm excited to share kind of the journey of fillers of how far they've come along in the last 17 years or more. You guys, when I first started doing fillers, we really were able to do like nasolabial folds and make lips fuller, and we used collagen, and we didn't have a lot of hyaluronic acid. It's right when hyaluronic acid fillers like Juvederm and Restylane came out. So I'm really excited to be able to share kind of that journey and what we have for you guys now, because I really do feel we've got a lot of great options that we didn't have so many years ago. So, and this is Crystal.
Hi, I've been a registered nurse for about 10 years now. I've been doing this for a few years, and I have enjoyed every moment and every client I have met, and I've enjoyed these lovely ladies that I get to work with every day. And I'm so excited that we get to do this for you guys.
Yeah, this is going to be great. So how the format, what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to be doing most of the talking and talking about the fillers and kind of letting Crystal's going to be doing the injections. And as she's doing her injections, I'll be talking about what she's doing, what she's looking for, why she's doing it. And then of course, this is our lovely model, Sonia. So Sonia, we've known, has been part of the Facetté family for a long time, and we're very happy that she's here with us. So let me start by kind of telling you we already analyzed Sonia and kind of what she needs for fillers and what she needs for Botox. And we've talked to her, we've had a full consultation. So she's told us her concerns, what she wants to improve upon and what she wants to soften. And then now we've already cleaned her skin. Crystal will continue, you'll see her, Crystal will continue to clean her skin with an antibacterial and antiviral septic solution. And she's already done a lot of markings on Sonia as well too. So we already know, kind of got a plan. The other thing that Crystal has done is she's already actually, before we started this demo, she already started injecting, and we already did one side of her face. And so if you want to come a little bit closer, what we did with Sonia is that we did do some mid-face filler on the left side, and now we're going to work on the right side. And we also did just a little bit down here on her jawline. What they call this is the pre-gel sulcus. And what that does is it smooths out that jawline as well too. So we're going to do a little bit more there as we kind of move forward with the injections, but this is where we begin. So we're going to do her mid-face, her pre-gel, and then we're actually going to do a little bit of lip filler as well too. Crystal has already actually done lip filler in her bottom lip before we got on camera, just because it was just really for time, just to make sure that we had enough time to get everything done. And then after we do the mid face, we're going to work on her upper lip as well. So that's going to be really exciting. So we get to do a live demo on everything. So you'll see a lot of different things. So that's going to be really exciting. So as Crystal's kind of setting up and starting her injections, let me start by kind of talking about some mid-face fillers. Mid-face, there's a few different products, but one of my very favorite and the one that we use a lot here is called Voluma. And Voluma is, as most of these really fillers are, is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is something we have naturally in our body. Its job is to absorb and attract water to our cells. Each molecule of HA can hold its weight in water up to 1,000 times. And what the cool thing is about all these HA fillers is that they've really been able to change the components of it. And two of the things that they've mostly done is really, they call it G prime, and G prime means lifting. So how much lifting a filler can do. And so you want something that's in the mid face to be more, kind of think of it more like a jello than a pudding. We want something that's going to support, right? So that's what Voluma does a great job of, but it's also not too firm. We also don't want something in our mid face that feels stiff, right? And so as she's injecting right here, what she's really doing is she's marked her out and has decided to where these points are where she can support the ligaments and the fat pads. So think about when you're a baby and when you have young children, right? We have fat pads upon fat pads. And as we age, these fat pads start to shrink and then they start to separate, right? And then other things happen as well too in the aging phase, such as bone loss and laxity, but fat pads and that loss of fat in our face is a big one. And so as these fat pads start to shrink and separate, the retaining ligament that's holding them up starts to kind of fall. So what Crystal's really doing is she's putting a drop of filler at the base of this ligament to support it up, which supports this fat pad and gives this fat pad support as well too. So we're not aiming for projection of the cheeks. We've all seen those photos of what we call like pillow faces, or just look really full in the face. That is not our goal ever. Our goal is just to pull it back up this way, not projection, but lifting. And what's cool, we see this in clinicals and we see this in studies as well, is that when you're putting a little bit of filler in that mid face, not only does it lift here, it lifts the nasolabial folds, it lifts the jowls, it lifts the tear troughs. So it lifts all these areas just by supporting that mid face, which is really cool. Now, the one things I like about Voluma is that it lasts up to 2 years. So I do feel like it lasts a good 1.5 years, and for everybody really consistently. How much does somebody need? That's another great question that comes up often. And I will say most often somebody will need a syringe and a syringe. So a syringe on each side of their face. Sometimes they could have a little bit left over, where again, we can do that pre-gel. Sonia here has a great cheekbone. She hasn't had a lot of fat loss yet. And so we are just using one syringe for her, and we're going to separate it into the two sides. So that's the great thing with Sonia, and that we can do that. Now, what Crystal's doing right now is that she's using this AccuVein. So this is something special that we have with Facetté, and not every clinic does, but it's basically this AccuVein will show you where your veins are, which is really, really cool. And so we use this when we're in areas that may have a lot of vascularity, or if we see a vein, but we're not for sure where that vein is, we use it a lot. And that way we can avoid bruising and some different things a lot easier. So this is a great thing that we love to use. Yes, Amanda.
Yeah, so there's some questions about, and one of the cool things about fillers that I love is that the results for the most part are immediate, but we're having some questions in the comments asking about the difference between some of the fillers that you're showing and also Sculptra, and what the difference is, and can those be used together, right? So it's a great question.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm getting there. So we are definitely going to address that as well too. So yes, we're going to get that mid face. Now, the other thing that we want to do, if we want to look at all these other fillers, so that's the mid face. And there's a couple different products that we can use for that. We can use Voluma. Another great one is Restylane Define. And we're going to use that kind of for the structures of the face. So like mid face, pre-jowl, the gonial notch, just to give like a little bit of support and lifting. So that's what we're thinking about there. We don't want to use these products, say, in lips or nasolabial folds, marionette lines, because those areas are very dynamic. So then moving on, the next thing that we would be talking about are what would we use for areas that are dynamic. The thing that we're going to use, the filler we're going to use on Sonia tonight is going to be Restylane Kiss. And this is one of my very favorite ones as well too. So these two guys are kind of my go-to in a lot of situations. Kiss as part of the expression technology with Restylane. And there's actually three products. There's Kiss, there is Refine, and then there's Define. And all three of these products are considered the expression technology. And so what that basically means is that these products move with your face. So as you smile and make different facial expressions, these fillers will stretch with you and then they come back. In the kind of the older fillers, sometimes if you're putting filler like maybe up here, it would look great if you weren't smiling. And then sometimes when you do a big smile, you could maybe see like a little ledge or something. Now that's no more with these expression technology. So that's what's really great about it. The difference between these three is that Define has more lifting and less stretchability. So it's great again, like in the structures of the face. The Refine is the most stretchable, right? So super stretchable.
To go and learn and listen and have fun, not to be the boss of or the judge of.
I will find where that is coming from.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, I hear somebody talking. I was trying to find if it was a question or not. So
no.
Then going back to Refine, it's the most stretchable and then not a lot of lifting, right? So it's great for finer lines, great for something that's very dynamic. And then the last one would be Kiss. And obviously it's KYSSE is how they spell it. They market it towards lips, does not mean that's the only area you have to use it in, but it's kind of in the middle between Define and Refine. It has that kind of moderate lifting and that moderate stretchability. We love it for lips because it gives this beautiful shape to the lip without giving you projection, right? We don't want that fish lip. We don't want this kind of like fullness, that Marge Simpson, like whatever you want to call it, right? That overfilled pudding kind of a lip, right? We want a molecule that can hold its weight. So what these molecules do is they stack up. And so that way that gives you that kind of roll out of the lip versus projection. And then the technique that we do, which is what Crystal's about to start. Is she too high for you, babe? You can lower her down. There you go. It's a little bit slow on that. So what she's going to do is she's going to inject from the top and the bottom. So when she did the bottom lip, she was making these vertical injections, and that's what she's going to do from the top is make vertical injections this way. And if you think about that, that's going to roll the lip up versus project it out, right? Versus just giving it that kind of overfilled look. So that's what she's doing now. And that's what's really exciting about this. Now, let's kind of pan into Crystal just a little bit, and you can kind of see what she's doing there. And she's just giving these fine, teeny tiny little lines of filler. And it's just going to give her just a little bit of lifting. And just Sonia doesn't want a really full lip. She just wants a nice conservative lip. She wants it to have a great shape. And she just wants kind of a hydrated lip too. And so the hydrated lip, think about that, because I know I get that question all the time. Like, I don't want a fuller lip. I don't want a fuller lip. And I totally hear you as far as not wanting to look like your lips have been filled or overdone. What happens as we age, we lose a lot of collagen. So a great lip, I can kind of make what we call a hydrated lip. And I always kind of tell this story too, is I've done filler in the lips of a 95-year-old woman. And she was the coolest lady because she looked her age, but she still liked to wear bright lipstick, but she had all these little perioral lines around, and that made it where her lipstick would bleed, right? So we just put in a tiny bit of filler just to give her a little bit of hydration, soften those fine lines, and it still looked very, very natural. So that was what's really great. So you can do that with any of these products. You don't have to have a filled lip, just maybe a hydrated lip. So that's kind of that piece of it. And then
that's a great way. One of the questions was, is there an age to start? There's no age, right?
Nope,
like we
not at all.
can enhance each of us have such different features that the goal is to enhance whatever that looks like. So there's no age that you have to start or wait for or whatever that looks like.
Yes, for sure. And I think everybody that kind of knows me and knows Facetté knows that what our philosophy is here is really just to make you look like your best self.
Yep.
We are not going to make you look overdone or overfilled. It's really just to enhance your natural beauty and to soften those edges, right? So as we age, I think this is the thing I also hear every single day is that you look in the mirror and you feel like you've got still all the energy and all the things you want to contribute to the world, and you're going to do some great things, whether you're 30 or whether you're 70, right? But then you look in the mirror as we age as women, and sometimes we're like, gosh, but I look angry or sad or depressed or tired. I hear that all the time, right? So all these like negative adjectives, right? And so what we do is to lift those and soften that and those types of things where you look like your natural, beautiful self. We're just kind of back in the clock a little bit and just making it where you have more positive adjectives that you can look at. Because my goal for every single client is like, you look in that mirror and go, damn, I look good. Like I feel good and I look good, right? That's our goal on everything that we do. When I'm talking about spa and I'm talking about hair, right? All our goal is just to make you feel like your best self. So that's what our philosophy is as far as considered fillers and Botox.
Will you also talk about the difference between lip fillers and lip flip? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of talk about lip flip, but it's different. It's not fillers.
Absolutely. So lip flip is going to be Botox, really. And we've been doing lip flip for since I've been doing Botox, right? So since Botox came around, but it's become this kind of term with Instagram. And so what it basically is just 2 to 4 units of Botox, and you put it right above that vermilion border of your lip. And what it does is it gently relaxes that orbicularis muscle. And when you do that, that lip kind of naturally flips out just a little bit. So I use it also to kind of prevent maybe a woman that's in her 30s or 40s that's starting to get those perioral lines. We can use it just to kind of relax that muscle just a little bit so that those lines don't form, kind of almost as a prevention thing. We can also use it on younger girls a lot of times that maybe want some filler, but either aren't quite there yet. And then we can just do a little bit of Botox and that just relax that muscle. So there's a very big difference between Botox for the lip flip and filler. Now, Botox there is also going to last because it's such a small amount. It's only going to last you probably 2 months, where the filler that we're doing today is going to last you more like up to a year, right? So it's got a lot more longevity, and you can definitely get a fuller lip with the filler, not so much with the Botox. It just kind of gently relaxes it. So then I have a couple more fillers I wanted to talk about. One is Bellotero. So it's this guy right here. And the Bellotero, what I really use that one for is the tear trough area. So again, as we age or genetics, we sometimes get hollow laterally or medially under the tear trough. And when we do this, the reason we like this one, it's a super thin product. It's very cohesive. So it just blends into the tissues just beautifully. I've seen it, where I've done tear troughs on a woman who's very muscular, has a really low body fat, and you can still, and it's almost like skin on bone in this area, and I can still put that filler there and it just blends beautifully. So that's a great area for that. Great technique. All of our injectors can do that and do it really, really well. And then the last product, as we mentioned Sculptra earlier, is Sculptra. So Sculptra is poly-L-lactic acid, and so it's the only one that's not a hyaluronic acid. So poly-L-lactic acid is a sugar molecule, and basically what it's doing is just stimulating collagen. So we don't use it like we do the other fillers, right? So the other fillers were giving you that kind of instant lifting or fill or fullness or whatever we're looking for, where with Sculptra, we're doing it more that frame of the face, right? So we're doing temples, we can still do mid-face cheeks, we can do a little bit back here. But what it's doing is as we age, think again, we're losing fat and it's kind of starting to come down and it kind of starts to sink as well too, right? So think about a young woman would have this face shape where she's most full in the mid face and then thinner down lower, right? As we age, that starts to invert, right? We lose a lot of mid face volume, temples and cheeks, and then we gain fullness here, right? So what we're doing with the Sculptra is really trying to get that mid face and that frame of the face to lift up. And it's actually got kind of a cool history. They started using Sculptra and it kind of became, I don't know, famous or more well known back in the 90s. And that was with the AIDS epidemic, and men and women were on these antivirals and they would have a lot of fat wasting, right? And they look very gaunt, and they would actually use Sculptra to kind of help them build that kind of roundness back to their face. So that was kind of a cool thing with that. So that's kind of how it became well known.
So disappointing that we want fat in our face, but not other places. And then
it is disappointing. You're absolutely right.
We always talk about how, as women, how frustrating it is where we're like, oh, but we get older. And when we want to, like, not where we want to have fat, when we didn't want to have it, it's just so frustrating. At least we have options and we have the team at the set.
For sure. We have lots of
Right.
options, which is so great, right? And I didn't mention Vobella or Juvederm, but those are two other products that we use here for softness, lips, fine lines, different things like that as well too. And then any other questions about fillers, then I can talk about the neuromodulators as well.
No, I think neuromodulators, we've kind of gone over all of the things I think that were in there, and we've had a couple of the team members pop in and help with some of those. There's some questions about jowls, which is an injectable, if we wanted to talk a little bit about what that looks like and facelifting, but I think you could move into neuromodulators, the important.
Perfect. Yeah. And with gels too, I can say this pretty quickly. With gels, we can do, you got this jawline, and building up that strong jawline is something that's become more in vogue as well too. And we can do that. We can do, you basically with the gels, so the gels are going to be this area, right? You can put a little bit of filler in what they call the pre-gel area, and then you can put a little bit back here. You can also put some filler back in this area, and that helps to pull up as well too. So those are some really cool things. And we would use that with the cannula. Sometimes you've seen Crystal today use needle. We do cannula and needle, just depending on the area, what we're looking at, what we want to accomplish in the technique.
And as you can see, we work really hard to make sure Sonia does not look like she is in a lot of pain. It's because she's not. We work really, really hard to make sure that you're comfortable, that this is an experience that is not an uncomfortable experience in that whole space. So obviously, you can see she's doing well.
Yes, she's doing very well. I think she's very comfortable. Are you comfortable, Sonia?
Great.
She's comfortable. So that's
They're
good.
asking a lot too, Mina, about how long fillers last. It's different with
so
ages.
Most of the fillers are going to last you up to a year. The only exception I find is Voluma can last about a year and a half, up to 2 years. But I would say it's more consistently about a year and a half. But most of the other fillers will last you up to a year. What I would say is if you exercise a lot, 1 or 2 times a day, and or if you have a naturally really high metabolism, you might find that you burn through it a little bit quicker, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent. And then going on to our neuromodulators, which are going to be Botox and Dysport. So what they do, I think everybody kind of has obviously heard the term Botox. It's almost like Kleenex, right? We all know that word, and whether we know what it does or not, right? So basically both of these products, it's a protein, and this protein stops the acetylcholine from jumping the nerve gap, works on the motor nerves, not the sensory nerves. So there's no numbness to the area. But when that motor nerve impulse isn't traveling, then the muscles don't get that signal to contract. When the muscles don't contract, the lines that are caused by muscle contraction soften, right? So kind of follow me on that, right? So what we're using it then for is going to be areas of the face where our lines are caused by hypercontraction. So we're looking at like frown lines, forehead, crow's feet are going to be 3 major areas. We already talked about doing a little bit in the upper lip. You can also do the chin. You can also do the platysmal bands, which are these guys right here. And as we age, they get worse. Get that kind of turkey neck. You can't see mine. We have these two, but I Botox mine recently. So I usually have 2 platysmal bands right here, but you can't see them. So there you go. So that's a win. We can also use it for hyperhidrosis, which is excessive sweating. You can also use it for migraines. It's FDA approved for migraines as well too. So there's a lot of uses for it. But basically for the most part, we're using it on the upper half of the face to just soften those lines. And with Botox, what's nice about it is there's a range for how much we could use and how much your budget is, right? So, for the frown lines in this area, that's going to be average is going to be for Botox 20 units, which is going to be a little over $200. And then you have forehead, and that can range anywhere depending on the person's forehead from 4 units to 20 units. So that's kind of a big range, just depending. My giant forehead takes a little bit more, right? So, and then crow's feet, I really pretty much start with an average of about 16 units, like 8 units on each side. So that kind of gives you an idea of how many units you could use. So if your concern is just your crow's feet or your concern is just your frown line, then you could see yourself in about the $200+ range for that. So that's kind of good information. Now with Botox, it's not immediate how filler is. You're just going to leave here with some bee stings. Bruising is always a possibility with any injection. So don't think that it's not. It can happen. Like we said beforehand, we do everything in our power to help prevent bruising. As far as the AccuVein, we can do ice. Crystal's done some pressure on something that looks like it might bruise. We ask you to avoid ibuprofen and alcohol a few days beforehand. Those things help, but bruising can happen. So then it really does take with Botox or Dysport, it really takes about 10 days for it to fully kick in. And so the first time we meet each other, we usually bring you back after 10 days just to make sure that you're happy with the results of it. And then it's going to last about 3 to 4 months after that. And so I typically recommend the first time as you're doing Botox that first year, I would say do it about every 3 months, do it 4 times a year. And then that second year, a lot of times you can go back to basically 3 times a year. So every 4 months.
Yeah. And
Cool.
each of us can metabolize it very differently. So you'll find what that looks like for you. And the girls will take great care of you to make sure that you have the look that you want, which is great. And that's what we love about it. We have some amazing promotions. Do you want to talk about the promotions? Oh, you should show Sonia and then I can talk about the promotions.
Okay, I'm going to show Sonia real quick.
Yeah.
So Sonia, go ahead and sit up. So basically with Sonia, she looks amazing. We can see, you guys didn't really see hers too much before, but she's got a lot more lifting here on her mid face. She's got beautiful lips. They look nice and shiny right now. Crystal did a nice job of having that nice border. And you can see they're not overly full. They're just hydrated, right? Other areas we could do some filler on Sonia would be a little bit like the nasolabial fold, maybe a little bit of scarring and smoothing out this area, but she looks gorgeous. And I think she looks several years younger already. She just looks nice and lifted. So thank you guys for coming to our demo and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys did a great job. Thanks, Sonia.
Bye.
Great job, you guys. Oh my gosh. Aren't they so amazing? I'm so lucky I get to work with the most amazing women every day. For this week, we have incredible promotions for injectables. One of them we have brought back is our liquid facelift. It is 2 syringes of Voluma, the one she was talking about for that lifting. And then it is 1 lower face, so either lips or lower face filling of Restylane plus Botox, $1,900. And that is a huge savings. I think you're saving about $400, which is incredible. And then we also have Sculptra on promotion where you get 2 vials of Sculptra for $1,400, which is also a $200 savings. So keep that in mind as we go through all of our promotions this week. We're transitioning into hair now. And so we're going to do some hair. I wanted to share with you guys one of my favorite things that I get to share with you tonight. I'm joining you with only eye makeup and lipstick on. I have no foundation on, and I did our newest PRX peel. It's called PRXT, which is a skin rejuvenation peel. We're going to do a demo on it on Wednesday. I did it today. This is my 3rd one. And I wanted to share with you because you're going to be able to see my skin throughout the week. And I want you to see how the progression goes. What I love about this TCA peel is that the delivery system is different. So instead of looking like a lizard where all my skin is falling off in the next couple of days, I get the same results with maybe a little bit of flaking, and I'll show throughout the week what that looks like. but it's incredible the things that we can do even with peels and with lasers. And so I wanted to show, like, as the week went on, how my skin looks, so you can see what that progression looks like. Today, I feel like I have a little bit of a glow, nice and tight. I'm turning 45 in 2 weeks. I don't feel like my skin looks like that, which is great. And so many times we need to consider great skincare, and we need to consider so many different treatment plans. And that's one of the things I love about the team at Facetté. The goal is to make your treatment plan. What is your goal for your skin, and how do we help you get there? So when we do this, it's always great. You can come in for a complimentary consultation. We can talk through all the things that you want to consider, and we'll make a plan that works just for you. So I think that is absolutely incredible. But I just wanted to share with you, because you're on a skin journey with me this week. You didn't know, but you are. So we're going to be talking through that the entire week, and you'll see that demonstration of the PRX with our RF energy, which is our #1 treatment that we do every day here at Facetté. And you guys will be able to see that on Wednesday, which is going to be absolutely incredible. So we are about to, hi guys, I did see you today. I love getting to see you all today. Go to hair. And they are going to do today, we're talking about color. And what I love, we're going to talk about our color brand. Oh, I have the most important thing I have to do right now. I get to give away some filler. Who's excited for filler giveaway? I'm excited for filler giveaway. It makes me super happy. So we are going to do that. And if you, Claire Van Hol, who is on, won a syringe of Kiss, which is our #1 lip filler. And actually Facetté is one of the #1 facilities in Colorado that does Kiss. And Erica Hope won Voluma, which is that mid-face filler. So congratulations, ladies. I will make a note of that. And so when you come in, we will be able to get you scheduled. So make sure you call and schedule your appointments and you come in for your amazing treatments. And I'm going to be giving away stuff all night long, you guys. So make sure you stay on so I can keep giving all the things away. Now let's see if they are ready for us on the hair side. Need to find Miss Lauren. Are we ready, Lauren?
We're ready.
We're ready.
Yay!
Yeah.
We have Kelsey and Tori who are joining us tonight to share all things color.
Yes, I'm Kelsey. I'm a studio stylist here at Facetté. I've been doing hair for about 2 years now, but I'm really excited. I'm going to be showing you a more natural lived-in look.
Hang on,
And
Kelsey.
I'm
I
Tori.
don't have video.
Oh, video.
That's okay. You guys keep talking.
That's okay.
We'll figure it out.
Is the video going? Did you get it? I mean, is it going, Amanda?
I don't see it. That's okay. You guys keep talking. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Tori. I have been in the industry for 4 years now, and I'm going to be doing a fun color blocking with fashion shades today.
Is the camera going now, Amanda?
It is not.
Okay.
Oh, Christine says she can see you.
Hmm.
Yep, we got you. Go ahead.
Good. Okay. Hey, everyone. Okay, perfect. So yeah.
First
go
night
ahead and show
technical
us-
difficulties.
Yes. And yeah, so Tori is going to kind of demonstrate what she's doing today.
So I have 3 sections here, and I'm going to do each section a different color. And then I'm also going to show you guys kind of what it looks like putting a fashion shade on a darker color that's not pre-lightened. It's really important to have the hair pre-lightened, otherwise the fashion color doesn't take as well. So I'll start with this section, and then we'll kind of work through and come back, and I'll show you some more.
Perfect.
What are you working on, Kelsey?
All right. So what I have, I'm kind of mostly through it, but I am demonstrating more of a foliage. You kind of hear around Instagram and other places of foliage, balayage, more of that lived in look on like brunette hair. I just wanted to kind of show you my sectioning. Everything is going to be different based on maintenance of a certain client or where they part their hair. It's going to be custom to you. But with this beautiful mannequin here, she parts in the middle. So I did a lot of just some slicing and back combing that is going to give that look, but have lots of depth. So she's going to feel still really natural with her color, but then there's going to be nice ribbons of blonde throughout her hair. But yeah, I will be demonstrating a little bit of a money piece in the front that will connect with all the foils I have done so far.
Awesome. What are you guys feeling like you're seeing the trends are color-wise coming up? I mean, we're coming into this part of Colorado where we're all sick of dark and gloomy and cold. So we start thinking about springtime. So that usually means blondes. But what are you guys
Yes.
feeling like? What is the inspiration around the trends of hair color right now?
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people liking 90s and 70s styles are really coming back with both cuts and colors. And a lot of like the chunky color blocking, lived in looks, like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, especially with the lived in look, a money piece is huge. I mean,
It is.
it's been around for like this year as well, but it's really good to brighten up, especially with any hair color. I feel like just having the bright pieces in the front with the bold piece just kind of makes you feel brighter for summer. Not necessarily do everything bright, but it's been hanging around for a bit and I absolutely love it too.
It
For
does.
sure.
It frames your face so nicely.
does.
We're getting some questions about the colors that we use. Will you guys talk about the differences in the color we use and why we use it?
Yes. Like as in,
O&M.
okay. Yes, so we have a really great color line. Basically, it's from naturally derived ingredients. It brings lots of shine and the longevity of the hair color is amazing. I think it's just a better option for our clients as well as us because it has less harsh chemicals. So it's better for the hair integrity, but also for us as stylists breathing in all the products we use every day. It just is very gentle on the hair. And I think it gives tremendous like really great results. So
Absolutely.
So
It is
shiny.
beautiful.
yeah, it's beautiful.
And we get great gray coverage with it, right? That's always a
Yes.
question because grays can be resistant and a little stubborn because of all the reasons, but we do get great gray coverage with that, which is nice. The
Absolutely.
brand is called O&M. It's a naturally derived brand that is out of Australia that we found.
Yes.
And we're always looking for something incredible and new that we're going to get great results for our clients that give us long lasting, beautiful color. And we also want to make sure that we take care of our stylists because as Kelsey was saying, ammonia is something that has been used in hair color for years and years and years. And what we found is that it was creating a lot of issues within our hairstylists who are around it every day. So ours is either no ammonia or we have a very low ammonia base to make sure that we're taking care of our team as well as you so that you have a great experience and don't have any reactions as well, which is incredible.
Absolutely. Yes. Great question.
How's the colors going?
So good. Where are you at, Tori?
I am almost done with my first section. Just taking smaller sections. You really want to saturate really, really good with these colors. Otherwise, they can tend to turn out splotchy. Nobody wants splotchy color.
Nobody wants splotchy color.
No way. Oh my gosh. So I just want to give out this fun fact that I learned from the amazing Chrissy.
Ooh,
Wait, what? What'd you say?
I said, ooh, yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, ooh, yeah, seriously. So fun fact about how lived in hair color became is Johnny Ramirez from California, he dropped hair color on one of his clients on accident, like just like a little splotch. And he just like rubbed it in to see like what would happen. And that's how like lived in color became like, that's like the very start of it. And then afterwards, you know, there's more techniques and it just blew up. So I thought that was kind of cool, like just a little bit of the history of it.
Yeah, I love that. Hair color has been around for a really long time. It was funny to me when a couple years ago, everything went gray, right? Everyone wanted gray. And I was like, the industry was created to cover gray. And then now everybody wants to be gray. But
so
I think
true.
that's incredible. What is some
Yeah.
of your favorite color to do, ladies? Like what, I know Tori really can rock some fashion shades. She loves to throw some incredible different colors on there, but like, what's your favorite? If you had to pick, like you could do it all day long.
I would say for me, other than the colorful fun stuff, I like to do blondes. Anything where I can put a million foils in your head, I love it.
Love that.
Yes.
What about
I
you,
would
Kels?
say, oh man, I just love color in general. I would say definitely like foliage, balayage. I just love giving just a little extra like enhancing of someone's like natural hair color. and being able to play with it and get really creative, because it's kind of like, it's like really, I feel like it's an art too. I mean, all of it is, but especially being able just to create something for someone's look that they already have, I think is awesome. So I enjoy doing that.
Absolutely. And in the chat, we just put the Instagram handles for both Kelsey and Tori, so you can follow them and see their work when they post, which is always incredible to see all their creativeness. One of the things we do different here at Facetté is that when a stylist like Kelsey or Tori graduates cosmetology school, many times they have the tools that they need to pretty much graduate and get through things, but then we put them through an incredible program here where we want to make sure that we put them on like a launch pad to launch them into their career and give them extra tools to be really successful. And it's been absolutely incredible to see the two of you grow as stylists. You're so absolutely dynamic, but I love that you guys get to share with us now too.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. And there's one thing I did want to go over with just like lived in hair color.
Yeah.
Especially for clients. I think it's great knowing the options, because some people think, okay, you get it done and then you have to do the full thing like soon after, you know, and that's a lot of maintenance. But with lived in hair color, you can do just spotlights and a gloss to maintain it, and it'll still look beautiful like after a couple months or so. Just like I'm doing now is with the spotlights, this would be just a service. You wouldn't have to do the full thing again, but doing like touching up this money piece and then even putting a few foils here and there to really enhance your hair color, that is just a good maintenance. So I just wanted to like put that out there, that just coming in for a gloss to tone your hair for your desired look, that's absolutely a good option for maintenance. So you don't have to come in every 4 weeks, but just to put that out there.
No, I love that. And I think it's
Yeah.
good to know what that maintenance looks like, right? Especially when
Yeah.
you come in. And that's what is great about the team when they do their consultation. It's so
Yeah.
great about making sure we talk about like, what do you do with your hair? How do you like to blow
Mhm.
dry it? Do you like to fall asleep with it wet? What does that look like? So we can make sure that we're getting you the right expectation and that your maintenance is exactly the same.
Yeah.
There's a question for you. Oh, that everyone's saying that they love gloss. Who doesn't love a good gloss? And we can
Right.
talk maybe a little bit about what a gloss does. But there's a question about, what do you recommend for dark hair to add depth without lightening?
That's a
Instead
good
of
one.
like lightening the color, do you have any suggestions for that, ladies?
You could put in a darker color, like low lights, maybe a darker roux, if you don't want to lighten through your hair. If you have virgin hair, we can lift you with hair color, the high lift. But really, if you wanted that type of look, lightening would be the best option.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. I mean, you definitely need to, I don't know. That is a great question. Wow. I think,
But there
like
are
Tori
ways
said,
to lighten, keeping the hair healthy.
yeah.
Lightening doesn't
Absolutely.
always mean it has to ruin your hair.
Mm-hmm. Especially here at Facetté, like our number one priority is keeping your hair condition superior, because that's what's the most important. And we'll take you through the steps of the process of it. So then you don't just like, go from super dark to light and like destroying your hair. That is not what we'll do. And none of us will do that to you. So I think it will be important, especially doing a consultation, seeing how dark your hair is, what the options are for you specifically.
No, absolutely. And it depends on the depth of color of hair and what those goals are and your skin tone. I mean, there's so many things to consider when you're looking at what the long-term goal is, and especially even maintenance, right? What does that look like for maintenance?
Absolutely.
So tonight, what's incredible with the hair side is that we get to watch the demonstration and then even see some afters of what that looks like on the red carpet. And tonight, all of our models actually are outfitted by Pilar Boutique in Loveland. That's an absolutely incredible boutique that we love. And I will be giving away at the end of the night a Pilar Boutique gift certificate, which will be exciting. I love all the giveaways.
Awesome.
That boutique is super cute.
It is so cute. It's downtown Loveland, right off of 4th Street. And she does such a great job in really unique things. And this week, Sonia, who you guys saw earlier in the Injectables demonstration, she has a boutique in Loveland as well. But I love that we get to work with our boutique partners and share the fashion side of what we do in our beauty industry, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. How's it coming over there, Tori?
I'm almost done with section 2. It's like a green teal color.
Beautiful.
That looks awesome.
Mhm.
So what would you say would be like the maintenance for fashion colors? Like how long do they last, and kind of go off of that for clients?
Yeah, how do you take care of
So-
that too? Because it's definitely
Mhm.
different.
It's real.
So fashion shades are very high maintenance. If you're someone who doesn't want to be in here every 4 to 6 weeks,
Mhm.
they're not going to be for you. There are some shampoos you can get to help with the longevity of the color. But typically, if you want like a pastel-y, lighter fashion shade, expect that to wash out within 2 weeks max. The more you wash your hair, the more you're breaking down that color molecule. And so it's going to fade faster.
Yeah, that's great.
And so the darker the fashion shade, the longer it'll typically last you.
Mhm.
Is there anything that with those fashion shades that we can do that will help the longevity?
You definitely want to use a color safe shampoo, possibly a color depositing shampoo.
Yeah.
You want to wash with colder water, which I know nobody likes that, but it's the best option.
It is.
And then just maintaining it, coming in every 3 to 4 weeks to get it touched up.
Absolutely. One of my new favorite things for hair that we have, you guys, is the Aquas towels. So
Oh,
we
yes.
just got these in. Tori, Kelsey, and a group of us were at the hair show in Austin in August, and we each got one. And we brought these hair towels, because when your hair is wet, that's when it is most susceptible to damage. And many times we don't recognize that we're hurting our hair with that. And so we got these Aquas towels that will help your dry time, because it helps pull the water out in an appropriate way. It helps save your hair so that we're taking care of the quality of our hair and making sure we get that. You guys, literally, I'm so obsessed with this towel. I travel with it, right?
Yeah,
My
it's
fiance is like, are
amazing.
you kidding me? But I travel with this towel, and I'm giving away 3 of them tonight. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Those
Probably
towels
so
are
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
I was
they'll
kind of
change
like,
your
really,
life.
is it fancy? Is it really cool? But I'm telling you, this towel it's like a life changer.
Yeah, it is.
I put my hair up in it for 20 minutes, and it takes me 10 minutes to blow dry my
Yeah,
extensions.
seriously.
Which
They
is
are unreal.
crazy.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, as we wrap up, we wanted to just thank you all for coming to our demo and learning a little bit about what we do. We really love, obviously, we have passionate for color and all the things. But yeah, if there's any questions or anything, we'd love to have a consultation with you guys here at Facetté. But yeah, so cool.
Go take a look at our finished looks with Christy.
Yeah, at the red carpet.
Yeah, Chrissy is going to bring the red carpet up, which is absolutely incredible. And let's go to Chrissy now. Are you ready for us, Chrissy?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic. I am here on the red carpet with the fabulous Izzy, and she has the fashion shade look. That is the technique that Tori was demonstrating. What I love about this right off the bat, I'm gonna just position your head, Izzy, just your head, baby. And is that there's this perimeter color that is contrasting with this half of her head. And it's just such a strong look right now and such a popular look to have the perimeter be a little bit different than the rest of the hair. I love that. Tori is the queen of detail, you guys, when it comes to fashion shades, all the things. She did my blondes when I was blonde. She's amazing. So Tori did do this shade as well. And we've got this beautiful lavender. And if you see as she turns, it transitions flawlessly into this shiny, healthy, beautiful, like aqua blue. It's gorgeous. And when she turns again, We have another fun kind of transition in the perimeter around the hairline. And I want you guys to really notice how healthy and shiny the hair is. I love that Kelsey mentioned that our number one service to our guests is superior condition. And I really feel like this color honors that service to our clients, that the condition is the most important. You can't have beautiful fashion shades if the hair is extremely compromised. And our color lines, all the color lines that we use are going to work really well at preserving the integrity of the hair. Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Izzy. And now we have Lauren. Lauren is demonstrating the final look of the technique that Kelsey demonstrated. And if you look, it's very natural. I'm going to turn your head just a little bit. Thank you. Very lived in, sun-kissed, us Colorado girls. We love this like natural, soft grow out. I'm going to turn you just a little bit this way. And you can also see that it has this subtle contrast, but it really emphasizes the length of her hair. And it really shows off her natural color without overpowering with the lightness. And this will be able to go to like what Kelsey said. You could go a year and just touch this stuff up with spotlights and glosses. Yeah, very soft, natural, very honoring to the integrity of the hair as well. And what you'll notice a lot of times, if you look on Pinterest and such, you'll see that these types of looks, these balayage, foliage looks are shown and modeled by hair with waves. If you look, the straight hair, you see the contrast, but it's definitely more subtle. But when we have curl to the hair, the depth that lives underneath is coming out and creating even more contrast. So if you do like these more lived in looks, rocking some waves is definitely a good idea. But please notice the shine and all the beauty that both of these looks have. And we want to feature our boutique Pilar. All of these looks come from Pilar in Loveland. And I love this little top. Look at that cute little.
So cute. We love our boutiques at Pilar. They're absolutely incredible. All right. Well, wasn't that awesome? It's so incredible to learn so much about hair if it's not something that you know, but I think sometimes it's a great time to look at what's happening with trends and what that looks like. And especially fashion colors are always so fun. So as we transition into the next demo, I'm excited to say that Marilyn Strand won the custom color from tonight. So that will be on your account so that you can come in and have a consultation and figure out what color you want and come in and do some color with one of the gals here. And then Paula Barker wins one of the Aquas towels for tonight. So congratulations, ladies. That is absolutely incredible. And we have even more giveaways. We're not even done. We have one more demonstration for tonight that we're super excited about, which I think will be absolutely incredible. We're going to be moving into permanent makeup, microblading brows and lashes. And I think permanent makeup can be one of those things where everybody's like, what is that? But it absolutely can dramatically change your look, but also it is so awesome for your beauty routine as far as time, which I think is just an incredible space for you to be able to save time. Like time is one of those things, especially in our beauty routine, we're always wanting to make sure that we have the right things that give us the best results, right? Long-term results, but then also we love that we're going to be able to have the amount of extra time. So let me see if the girls, I don't know if they're ready yet.
Amanda, can you hear us?
We can hear you. Are you ready?
Awesome. We are ready. This is Kimberly and Jenny here. We are two estheticians here that do the permanent makeup. And as you can see here, we've got our model Megan, and she has been mapped out and is ready to go for a powder shaded brow. So what that is a technique that is a little bit more full in color and gives a lot more volume to the brow area. But to backtrack just a little bit, when you come in for an appointment, we'll discuss with you what technique is best for you by reviewing your health history as well as your desired outcome and looks that you're after. So when we're looking at what it is that you would be wanting to do technique wise, we're going to take into consideration your skin type. We're going to take into consideration whether or not you are somebody who has a lot of hair or you've got very minimal amounts of hair, in order to determine which might be the best technique for you. So when we talk different techniques, there is a technique called microblading where it's actually feathered brow or micro strokes, as some of the other names that come out, that can make it kind of confusing as to what it is. But what that means is all three of those terms are referring to individual hair-like strokes being implanted. Whereas right now, what you're seeing Jenny do is a technique of shading. And that is what we use in order to create that powder brow or that full color look, or even what we call an ombre brow, which is kind of like what you hear about with hair, where it goes from a darker at the tail and lightens as we go to the middle. We'll do those combinations together at times with microblading. So you can see the hair strokes typically in the front at the bulb of the brow where she's currently working. And then it will go into a powdered shade as you go into the tail. Those are a few of the different techniques that are out there. As far as before treatment, we have a few things that you have to keep in mind. We don't want people doing any chemical peels within a few months of their treatment. We'll have you avoid any heavy sweating, retinol use, and any types of topicals like that that can thin the skin. We want to make sure you haven't done that for at least 7 to 10 days. No blood thinners. So that includes things like ibuprofen and caffeine and alcohol. We have you avoid those for 24 hours. And then of course, if you've ever used Accutane to treat acne, we make sure that that's not been something you've used in the last year. And then once we determine that, we'll then have you in, and our session begins with what you can see on our model today with mapping. You'll see kind of those marks, those hair pencil strokes, and that's how we determine a shape for you. And we'll do this based on this theory of phi, which will take into account your brow structure, your bone structure, the placement of your mouth, nose, and eyes to that of your brows. So we can really customize and make this brow you. So it's not somebody else's brow stamped on you, it's yours. And it's just going to enhance what you already have and make things so much better. After we get you mapped, we'll get you numbed, which we did see her with some numbing cream on. And once that is taken off, we then get started with our technique of choice, whether it's microblading or powder shading like she's doing now. And oftentimes we get asked how we select our color. Color is always going to be chosen based off of somebody's Fitzpatrick, their color of their skin, their melanin in their skin, undertones in their skin, such as yellow undertones, red undertones. If you've got dark hair, we're obviously going to take that into consideration over a blonde in choosing those colors.
Kimberly, there's a couple questions, right? Asking that, is this essentially tattooing, which it is similar to tattooing.
Yes.
And yes, what that is. But when we're talking about the areas that we're tattooing, it's, so to speak, the longevity is different, right? So will you talk a little bit about how that works?
The longevity of microblading versus shading, is that what I'm hearing?
Well, they're essentially like, if you get a tattoo, it lasts forever, but it's a little bit different.
Oh,
when
I
we're
gotcha.
working within that space,
a traditional
Yes.
tattoo versus microblading or powder shading.
Yes.
So the difference there is the type of pigments that we're using have a different molecular makeup. So a larger molecule is used in body art or traditional tattooing. It's also implanted much deeper than that of facial tattooing. So when you have that, you're going to hold that pigment much longer with those larger molecules. but they've designed these specific types of pigment in order for you to have better outcomes with how color retains and heals as far as the way the color lasts over time with a brow. It fades more naturally, if that helps. Whereas body art, obviously, you don't have to do touch-ups as frequently because it's much deeper and the pigment's molecule is so much larger, it doesn't fade as rapid.
Yep. Thank you for clarifying that.
I think that answered that.
No, you did. You did great.
So some of the other things that we do too, if somebody's not quite sure if permanent makeup is for them just yet, we offer things like henna brow and brow tinting as well. So if we're doing that, we can actually, with a henna brow, give you the idea or the illusion of what a powdered brow might look like for you, but it's more temporary. And it can allow you to get the feel for what it would be like to have permanent makeup done. When we do henna, it actually stains the skin behind the hair, and that'll last on the skin for a couple of weeks. And then following that, you've got another, I'd say 2 more weeks, maybe 3, where it's going to keep on the hair with that color. So that's a good way to kind of experiment with whether or not you really want to take the dive into doing permanent makeup. And it's been a very popular treatment and has taken off quite well. The other option is just tinting the hair. If you have quite a bit of hair, that's a great way to go. But if you're thinning, it's probably better to try the henna to get that feel for whether or not permanent makeup's for you.
Yeah, because you get definitely like a little bit of a darker feel, that fuller feel with the henna. But there's great options, and henna lasts a little bit longer, I think, than tint. I've done both, right? So we've got some amazing options to kind of ease our way into the
making that decision. Yes,
no, the permanent
exactly.
is incredible.
And the henna is natural, and a lot of
is.
people are more comfortable with that because it's actually derived from the plant versus having any kind of ammonias or things like that in it too. So some people opt for it for that reason. Some of the other things we'll do are brow lamination. That's a really popular technique that's recently taken off. And it's great for helping with somebody who has that unruly hair, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
They've got the curly hair in their brows and they just don't grow in the right directions. This is kind of like a perm that will get that brow going in the direction we want it to go. It can be much more full and give more volume. And the cool part is we can still tint the hair at the same time. So if you need a little pop of color, we can do that on the same day. And I have some great pictures that are of both Jenny and I's work that we'll share later. And there's one in there that gives an example of what the lamination looks like. So it's really cool technique that we have as well. Kind of think of it as a perm because people know what perms are, right? And then the other thing that we do that's similar to having a perm is our lash lifts, which is really great. That is where we actually take kind of a silicone rod and we lift the lashes up around it to give you that much more open eye. And it does give more volume because we'll also then have the option to tint again and give it that pop of color, which the ends of our lashes are always much more fair. And so it really gives that length to them too and adds that additional pop.
Yeah, and I have, you guys can see I have a lash lift. I'll get really close. You can see how curly my lashes are, and these are my real lashes. We have a brand called Maxi Lash that we love that helps grow your lashes and give them fullness. I think I love too, Kimberly, about the lamination in the brows, because sometimes when you have thinner brows, that lamination can give you a fuller look as well. It just helps them stay in place and when they're unruly, but it really does look really beautiful. Yes, I'm wearing mascara. There's a few questions I'm going to answer. How long they're asking, like, how long does a lash lift last?
It can last you up to 8 weeks, and the process itself takes about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I love it. And with a lash lift and a tint, I can go on my days off when I just wear like tinted sunscreen. I don't have to wear mascara because it's nice and dark, and you still feel like, because I have really blonde lashes, so it's nice that it gives them that depth.
Yes. And you know, anytime we can minimize how much we have to do in the morning and just wear a tinted sunscreen, have our brows on point with whether it's permanent makeup or henna or the lamination, and then also add in there that curl to those lashes. So you're not
Yep.
having to mess with the lash curler that pulls out the hair. And then you're like, oh dear, I worked so hard using my maxi lash to get that there.
Yep.
It saves us in so many ways.
And then henna, can you talk about maintenance and time frame for henna too, please?
Yeah, you bet. So henna will last on the actual skin as the tinted portion for about 2 weeks. And then it's a full 4 weeks of it on the hair, up to 6. The big thing with that is you want to make sure you're not washing the area. Same thing with the lash lift for 24 hours, because what that does is it relaxes everything and you'll lose that pop and color and it just won't hold up for you as long. And then the less frequently you wash that area, the longer it'll hold up overall.
Yeah. And a couple of people were saying I had it done, and sometimes when I get the tint done, it's a little dark to begin with, and it can be.
Absolutely.
If you use the right color, the first day or so or two, it can be a little bit dark, but then you get a little bit longer lasting results when we make sure that they're just a smidge dark. If you can, tough it out for a couple of days. We want to make sure you have the right color though as well.
And we have a full spectrum of colors to choose from, which gives us that flexibility. If you have it done one time and it's maybe a little lighter than you were hoping, you just have to let us know. We'll give you that additional pop in that color and we can bump it up and we can mix them and make it work for you. Yeah. And same thing when we're talking permanent makeup. If you are done healing at the end of 4 weeks, we are going to have you back. We're going to do a follow-up with you to recheck how they healed. And a lot of times, especially with microblading, if all those hair strokes don't quite heal where we want them, that's what this appointment's coming up for, or the next appointment that you'll have, the second session that you'll have. It's for us to go in there and perfect it. Absolutely. So we'll have you follow up and you may sit there and think, gosh, the color's not right. It's not got enough pop. Well, a lot of that's because maybe it didn't fully heal in, and that's why we've got to have you back to do that perfecting appointment. So technically a permanent makeup appointment is 2 appointments. So have the expectation of having that healing time for a couple of months.
Absolutely. And we do, there's some questions about, do we do informational appointments? Because, this is a lot of information, and is it really, I don't know what I want. So we do at Facetté, regardless of what the treatment is, we do complimentary consultations. We want to make sure we make the right plan for you. And looking at your skin makes a difference for us and for the providers to make sure they give you the right information. So please schedule a complimentary consultation so we can get you the right information. And they're asking too about lip blushing. So I'll let you get into that, but I just wanted to put that out there too.
Yeah, and we do actually require a consultation for any permanent makeup, because there is a lot of information, a lot of detail, and your health history plays into it too. And it helps us to determine if you're even a candidate. For some people, you may not be a candidate. And we want to make sure we have that conversation one-on-one with you. And yes, we do offer lip blushing as well. And that is a great way to give, if you want to pan to just show Megan's lips. So Megan has kind of lost a little bit of the color in her lips. So she'd be an excellent, not to put you on the spot, Megan, but maybe Jenny will get after you. But she's lost a little bit of the pop and color. And what lip blushing will do is give you that pop back, but not be as heavy duty as like a lipstick. So you could get away with a clear gloss on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really does make your lips look fuller and hydrated. It's really beautiful with the lip blushing and what that looks like. Someone was asking that they live far away. And so what does that look like for what that looks like? We can always work with you and potentially do like a Zoom consultation for that first one. And the appointments for permanent makeup can last somewhere between 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on what that looks like. So it can be, we can make some exceptions for that. So just make sure you give us a call and we'll make a plan with our providers and make sure we do that. Kimberly, what, someone was saying that they got a lip blush and they hardly ever wear lipstick. I can only imagine. what are we saying the time frame if they want to get lip blushing, but they also want filler? Like what do we look like there?
I would definitely make sure that you've had that for a good month before and had any kind of touch-ups to it prior in
Yeah.
order for us to go in and do it. But it's probably ideal to have it on board before you do your lips.
Yeah.
Or the blushing.
Right. And with and as you know, because I've had this issue before, Kimberly, where with hypothyroidism, you can lose parts of your brows, right? The front, I've lost the front, I've lost the back. What permanent makeup technique do you find you utilize the most with the loss of the hair for those specific things?
Well, again, that'll go back to somebody's skin type being a factor. For instance, somebody with really oily skin is not going to be necessarily a great candidate for microblading. So if you were to come in and you have less hair, the better thing for us to probably do if you're an oily skin type is to powder shade you or suggest that avenue. We can do a combo brow and put some microbladed strokes in the front to give the illusion of additional hair. And see how it holds. And if it didn't hold on somebody that's oilier, then we go in and we have that option to add that shading. So we have wiggle room. If somebody's really hesitant to do a full shading, I usually encourage microblading first, because then we can go in and add shading at a later time. If you do it the other way around, it's not that easy. You can't actually do that. So
Yeah. Okay.
does
That makes
that
sense.
answer what you were asking?
Mhm. Absolutely. And
Are
as you
there
guys
any?
can, there's so many questions. I'm trying to catch up with them all. But as you can see, even our model now is comfortable. We do our best to make sure that we're numbing and making sure that you're comfortable within the appointment in the midst of all of those things. Did you talk, Kimberly, already about healing time for permanent makeup?
No, I did not. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit there.
Sorry,
So
we were
with
asking
healing,
questions. It's our fault.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll bounce with it the way we need to here. So when it comes to healing, you are looking at the first 2 weeks of your time frame once you leave here, where you're actually gonna kind of ride a little emotional roller coaster. We have about by day 3, where your brows are going to look really dark, and you're probably going to say, girl picked the wrong color for me. This is like totally not
It
what
can be
we
a little
talked about in our
scary.
consult. And it really will settle down. When you leave here, you'll end up ultimately healing about 20 to 30% lighter. But as far as what that healing time frame looks like, that first 2 weeks, we have you keep them out of the water. We give you an ointment to use at home. We provide everything you need for your post-care. And then once that 2 weeks has passed, you can somewhat get back to some normalcy with your routine. Still no heavy sweating, still no chem peels, retinols, and things like that. But it'll be at about 4 to 6 weeks out when you will finally be seeing kind of what retention we got in that color and be fully healed for us to recheck you. And then we will discuss at that recheck and follow up after we take some photos, what our next steps look like and how long your actual touch-up appointment will take. But the big thing is keeping that water off those brows, no heavy sweating and then ride that emotional roller coaster out, because when you get to the end and we get that perfecting appointment going, you're going to be in love with your brows. But at some points throughout the healing, you're going to look in the mirror and be like, I don't think this worked. I don't think girl knew what she's doing. It's missing some spots. And in the end, that's where this oxidation process is occurring in your skin between the pigment and the melanin in your skin to really build that color and that pop. And if any of those didn't heal right, that's what we'll have you back and do your little refresh for.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our treatments here at Facetté, that you trust the process and you build a great relationship with your provider, because they're going to be your counselor through every step of what that looks like. And I think both
and we're always
really do a
here to
great
answer the
job.
questions.
Yeah,
if you have questions or concerns, we want you to reach out.
100%.
And we always follow up, but we want to make sure that you don't have to wait on us. You call if you have questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think both of you do a great job of what to expect in that space, because that's important going into it, to know how long, and that there might be a couple days where you're a little worried about the color and how that looks.
Yeah. And some of the things that, the habits that we have, touching and everything, we want to stay away from that. We want to not be sleeping on them when we're healing, because we want to make sure everything holds where we want it to. So no sleeping on your sides and rubbing your tails out. We want to keep those tails. So you do have to kind of adjust a little bit during that month, and we'll cover all of that with you and remind you of all those things. We even send you home with a card that's got everything on it so that you have your reminders at hand in case you forget, because it is a lot of information.
And a post-care kit. You take home a cute little bag with all the things you need to make sure that you're set to go and you're going to have the best outcome and results. So that's an amazing thing that you have to, and nothing that you have to pick up on your own.
Did you want to maybe pop into some pictures that we have? Yeah,
let's do that. So we're just going to start with the first one.
Yeah, number one, the microblading, and it shows in this photo a pre-drawn and what it looks like after. And this is traditional microblading that you're seeing.
Which is going to be more like the hair strokes.
Yes, so that's actually done with a handheld tool. And the needles themselves that are used with this are actually in an alignment. And that's what we use to pull through and create each of the individual hair strokes. And when we design the brow, we're going to follow your natural growth if you have hair. If you don't have visible hair, we will come to you with a very smooth and streamlined look. So they aren't going all different kinds of directions on you.
Yeah.
Did you want to pop number 3 up, the combo brow?
Yep, got it.
So our combo brow image here is showing you what it would look like to have both microblading and shading. And it also shows you what she looks like prior in a mapped form. So that's a great example of seeing both techniques in one.
Yeah, it looks great.
And then if you want to pull up image 5 for me.
Got it.
We've got a photo here of henna with a waxing. So that is going to clean everything up if we include the wax on that. And I always feel it leaves you with really crisp lines if we wax on the same day we do the henna. So it's a real clean finished look.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then our last image for an example for you to see is that number 7. And this is an image of brow lamination. So Jenny did this one and I'm just like floored by it because it is beautiful. This is probably one of the prettiest brow laminations I think I've ever seen, honestly. Her brows were pretty unruly to begin with, and she really got those in good shape. She also waxed, and then if you take a peek at her lashes, you'll see the before and after of the lash lift with a tint too.
Which those lashes that we're showing you right now do not have mascara on. This is directly after the treatment. So this is lifted and tint only. So it is a beautiful result.
It is, it's beautiful. And one thing too with lash lifts is sometimes immediately after they look a little like wet and not quite that fluffy. So after a few hours, it'll definitely give it a little bit more fluff, and it'll seem a lot more, I can't even talk. It'll seem a lot more full.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Everybody's just like, wow, it's so beautiful. And it is. The team here at Facetté does incredible work. Lash lift is one of my favorite things because I feel like lashes take me the longest in my makeup routine when I'm curling and all the mascara. So lash lift,
trying to get it just
perfect, right? And when you do lash lift, they separate the lashes as they're actually curling them, so they're perfectly separated, which is wonderful. I swear it saves me at least 10 minutes of being ridiculously obsessive about my lashes in the morning. So I love when you guys can help me with that, but that work is beautiful. And you can see the differences from the before and after with those microblading. And I'm going to have Katie put in both Jenny and Kimberly's Instagram in the chat so you guys can follow their work, because they have such incredible before and afters that you can see so much more of their work. There's questions about what Jenny has on her eyes. Do you want to explain that, Kimberly?
Yes. So we really like to magnify what we're looking at here. So when we are doing our work, we've got such detail that we put into this. And if I was to try and do this without magnifying, I would not get as crisp of a line. And it just really helps us to see better. So yes, our goofy glasses, as we call them.
I think they're
They even have
fancy.
lights on the end.
Hey, Kimberly, the question came up, will the lash lift compromise the lash hairs? And really, if the treatment's done correctly, it should not compromise the lash hairs at all, correct?
No, it won't. It's actually, and we actually condition the lashes afterwards as well. So it's actually good for the lash.
Yep, absolutely.
Jenny was going to mention something to me.
So just because they got such a great shot of like the lymph and the blood, I just wanted you to go over why we have them blot, post, and prevent the scab, just so that they understand what they're seeing, that that's normal.
Okay.
And that's how we do all the pre.
So Jenny was letting me know, because I can't quite see, like she's got the mag glasses on, right? So she was letting me know that the shot that you just saw, there was a lot of lymph that was coming up. That's the clear fluid that's in our blood. And what we like to have people do in their post care, and we send this home in your kit again, along with our ointment, we have you on day one really patting to prevent early scabbing. So that's what you were seeing on camera there. So she wanted me to make sure that I explained that. I couldn't see it from here. So
yeah, absolutely. What's your favorite
and we don't
thing?
want the premature scabbing, because it would actually prevent you from healing well and retaining pigment well.
Yeah. And that's just an important piece of the healing part.
Yeah. The retention, our goal with our following all of our post-care instructions is for you to have the best retention possible, so that final appointment that you have with us is really simple. And in some cases, we don't even need to do it.
Yeah. Well, and our promotion for anniversary week is absolutely incredible. So it is $75 off of permanent makeup, whichever you need, right? Whether that's you want the lip blushing or you want microblading or the combo brows. So you get to pick what that looks like, and we will honor that $75. And we just need to get you in for a consultation with either Jenny or Kimberly, so they can take a look at you and see what is you guys can make the best plan for what your long-term results for your goals are, which is awesome.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing, Kimberly, about permanent makeup? Kimberly's very, very passionate about permanent makeup, as well as Jenny.
I will say, for me, I have a fine arts background, so it brings that artistic part of my world back to life. So I get to create beautiful you and keep you looking natural and giving you everything that you are looking for in that new brow. And it's just that creative element. I love having that.
Yeah.
And I know for Jenny that's the same. We both just really care about how our clients are feeling about themselves. And so we pour our heart into what we're doing to make sure we give you what you're after, and not make you somebody else, but make you, but natural.
Yeah, I love that. And really, that is one of our goals as Facetté as a whole and our culture, right? We want to make sure that we enhance all of the amazing details of who you are as a person, and love getting to be a part of that process. It's very special for us as well. I have more than once seen both Kimberly and Jenny practicing on specific skin in their brow strokes and seeing them working on shapes. And it's so incredible to see how you can take, brows that almost have no shape and create the most beautiful shape. And you guys do such an amazing job.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I nerd out. Don't find cocktail napkins around without me like doodling brows. So it's a thing.
Yeah,
it's an addiction.
Yeah, it keeps everything fresh though.
It does.
Well, is there anything else that we need to know about permanent makeup or lashes or brows before we do some giveaways?
Does anybody have any questions?
Any other questions? I think we've pretty much, everybody's like, sign me up for Lash Lift Intent after they saw that last picture. It was so incredible to see the difference in what that looks like, as you know, but I think we've answered all the questions.
Very good.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. I'm glad y'all could join, and good luck with the drawing.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And we're going to show this week, right? We're going to show before and afters of the models that we're doing this week. So you guys can always follow along on our social media because we're going to continue to be putting out what our models that did this week, what does that look like and how does that go? So a couple things I want to share with you. First, this is let's see if my light will make it so it's easy. This is our grand prize basket. It is chocked full, seriously, of so much stuff. There's Maxi Brown there, which is from the Maxi Lash line, or CBD bath salts, literally my favorite CBD bath salts. Kendra Scott earrings, full-size products from SkinCeuticals, a Dior lip gloss, there is Orbe, there's Kerastase, there's a bottle of wine. There is $1,500 worth of services here at Facetté that you get to win as well, including a $50 gift card to Dominic's here in town. We, as a small business, know that the last couple of years have been really hard on some of our small businesses in our community, and one of those has been restaurants. And so each night this week, so that you all know, is we're going to be giving away a restaurant gift certificate and one in our grand prize, because we want to make sure that we're sharing the love completely within our community and small businesses, as we all are trying to continue to get things going and back on track. So I'm excited. Are you guys ready for giveaways? Everybody? Just me? I love it. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for showing up and thank you for the comments. I can tell you the team goes back through and they read them and they see them, and it really does make a difference when you cheer them on and say how much you love them and the time that you get to spend with them. Really, I'll get all choked up. This team loves our clients and loves you all so, so much, and our community. And I love that so much because that means they love you. And it really is about making sure you walk away feeling the best that you are. And I love that about who we get to be and the relationships we build in our world. So thank you so, so much. Now, I'm going to do some more giveaways because that's my favorite part of the night. It's my Oprah moment. Lori Fellows, where's Lori? I love my Lori. Lori, you won the lash lift, and tint. So exciting. You get to come in and let's lift those lashes. Jacqueline Gosser, my Jacqueline out there. Hi, Jacqueline. I have an Aquas towel for you, my new favorite hair towel. I have one. So there. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you. I needed to connect with Miss Michelle, and I love that I get to see her tonight. So this is so absolutely incredible. Lisa Randall, you won the $50 gift certificate to Pilar. So girl, you are going shopping. I kind of want to go with you. I know, Lori, I'm so excited for Lori. And then Mick Conright. Hi, Mick. I have a gift certificate for you to Nori. If you have not been to Nori Sushi Bar here in Fort Collins, it's absolutely incredible. And I have that for you. So just a quick reminder, we're going to be doing this all week. Invite your friends. Please join me each night because it's nice for me to see familiar faces and we get to share with you all the things that we do here at Facetté. We're giving giveaways all week long, plus we're drawing more at the end of the week. So there's always options for you to win. And every time you attend, we put your name in the drawing for the big grand prize, the big daddy over here. And then Mina, Aaron, and I and the team are going to draw that name on Friday live and share with everyone who wins. And I get to give away some of my favorite things all week long, which is absolutely incredible. So tomorrow, let me tell you what's on the docket for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have a fun night because Tuesday, actually, I was wrong. I thought it was Wednesday. Tomorrow, we're doing RF Energy with the PRXT, which is our Fountain of Youth treatment, is our #1 treatment. And that's the peel I told you I did on my face today. For those of you just joining, I have no foundation on. I literally did a peel today that I'm going to let you guys see my skin the whole week to show you what that looks like. And tomorrow, we're going to show you the demonstration of how that works with RF Energy. Then I'm going to do an interview with one of the gals from Crossroads Safe House, so we can talk about how this week we're giving proceeds from all of our sales this week to them to help their nonprofit. And when you donate to them, there's a link in the chat, $5 or more, and you mention Facetté, we're going to put your name in for an extra drawing for the grand prize, and just help this amazing community and what they're doing for our community and keeping people safe. Then we're going to talk about extensions and microlines tomorrow. This is all the hair tomorrow of how you add hair, how you get hair. they're going to explain it all. Taylor and Lauren are going to tell you all the things. And then tomorrow evening, we're going to end the night talking about bioidentical hormones, VLAs, which is vaginal rejuvenation. It's a thing. We got to take care of all the parts of our body, right? Make sure that we're all healthy in all the ways. Food sensitivity and Prolong, which is our fast mimicking diet, and how in our space, when we talk about Facette, which is total beauty, total wellness comes into that play, and how hormones impact our skin, our hair, all the things. So we're going to talk through everything. But this concludes our night for Monday night. Thank you for joining me on our first night of year 4 of Facette. And we have an incredible week ahead, and I look forward to spending it with you. And I hope you have a lovely evening. Please join me tomorrow. And cheers to a good night and all the winners and more winning tomorrow. Have a great night. Appreciate you all. Well, thanks, Christine. It was great to see you. I love seeing everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you sign up.